I'm going to try and make sense of some very unusual ideas. This may be difficult for someone who is not very familiar with these types of topics to understand, but I will do my best to try and explain them as easily as I can. Today I'm going to be discussing the mechanics of magic within the A Song of Ice and Fire universe. This is not what I usually do because here I will be applying A Song of Ice and Fire to a real-world context, which means that I will be assuming the laws of its physical universe align with our own. Now, we're going to start with the definition of the word supernatural. Now, when people say something is supernatural, what they're really saying is that it transcends the laws of the natural world, even though it manifests itself within the natural world. And if we take a look at the definition of the word nature, it is the phenomena of the physical world collectively. So when someone says that they've seen a ghost, what have they actually seen? What are they saying that they actually saw? Light? Well, light is energy, radiation, tangible, physical. Light falls within the definition of nature. Someone might say that they felt a ghost grab them on the back of their shoulder at night. They felt it with their physical body containing their physical nerve cells attached to their physical brain, which their mind is a product of. The point is, if something which we are applying the label supernatural to is manifesting itself in the natural world, is it not by definition natural? So since we are applying A Song of Ice and Fire's physical universe to a real-world context, what we are referring to as magic must be, by definition, entities developed by the laws of nature when presented to circumstances vaguely dissimilar to our own, and not necessarily conscious ones. What does all this mean? It means that the universe in A Song of Ice and Fire aligned itself through billions of years of the same altering and re-altering of energy and molecules and matter as we did, but in such a way that allows for living beings made of ice and minds that can remotely displace other minds. There is a semantic argument that forces me to reject the word multiverse, though I agree with its core concept. If there are infinite pockets of existence throughout all of reality, all similar and dissimilar to each other in various ways, then does the A Song of Ice and Fire universe, when applied to this real-world context, exist among them? I'd like to think so, because that would mean that somewhere in the whole of reality, Savas is a real board game that you could actually play. But you could certainly ask, how can I be sure that the A Song of Ice and Fire universe could potentially even develop within a real-world context? Well, I can't. However, I do not believe it is beyond the realm of possibility. Time is the great altering force. Given enough time, almost anything can happen. So when you apply the physical nature of our reality to infinity, anything that is possible must necessarily occur. It really boils down to opportunities, and considering the infinite, there are a lot of opportunities for the A Song of Ice and Fire universe to occur. But this is obviously all hypothetical. The point of us defining terms like natural and supernatural is so that I can demonstrate one very simple thing to you. Supernatural is a redundant term. Anything that can exist is by definition natural. And if there were by any chance some supernatural force, meaning a force that did not manifest itself within the natural world, then such force would be indistinguishable from something which is non-existent. If we take a look at our own universe, and by universe I mean the current widely accepted definition of universe, not including the multiverse hypothesis, it is vast, beyond anything that most of us can even comprehend. Within our own universe, there have been, and still are, an incredible amount of opportunities for time plus the laws of nature to have effect. If you look at the incredible diversity on Earth, how animals are so different from each other, so alien, and then when you realize that all life on this planet is related, having come from the same single-celled organism, what could life that is unrelated to us look like? Would we even recognize it as life? The point is, our vantage point from Earth is far too small to assume too much about the universe as a whole. So in A Song of Ice and Fire, there are clearly systems in place that, when interacted with by humans, have a certain effect on the world. This is evident in Melisandre's ability to control light the way she does. This is evident in Bran's ability to transfer his consciousness, his mind, from body to body. In physics, there is a phenomenon known as quantum entanglement. also called the quantum non-local connection. It is a property of a quantum mechanical system in which the quantum states of the constituting objects are linked together in such a way that one object can no longer be adequately described without full mention of its counterpart, even if the objects are separated by space. Now, what the heck does all that mean? Basically, it means that sometimes there are two particles that are tied together in the whole of reality that can be separated by any amount of space, and if you alter one object, the other one is altered as well, no matter how far apart they are. Now currently, this has only been observed on a quantum level, and by quantum I mean the minimum unit of any physical entity involved in interaction. So when I say quantum, we're dealing with the very smallest of things. It's almost like magic, isn't it? So you explain quantum entanglement to people, you know, the idea that there could be two objects separated by an immense amount of space that can still transfer what seems like information between each other instantly, but most people would never even dream that something like this is possible. And we don't understand the quantum world that well. There is no unified theory of physics that connects general relativity to quantum physics. There just isn't one yet. They don't match, which is crazy. Could there be life forms that manipulate quantum entanglement the way that we manipulate carbon? We know that on Earth, ice is not alive, but could there be somewhere in the whole of creation the proper conditions for living beings made of ice to spring forth? Why not? Even on Earth, life has crammed itself into every niche. Could there be a planet off in the distance where a race of fire people live, constantly combusting and retransferring and altering energy to stay alive? Now, of course, I'm not saying that the A Song of Ice and Fire universe is absolutely real. I'm not totally delusional, and I'm definitely not saying that the A Song of Ice and Fire universe even functions in a similar way to our own. As a matter of fact, I don't think it does. I think that everything in the A Song of Ice and Fire universe is quote-unquote magic, because George R. Martin, like I say, he's the arbiter of reality. If it's magic, it's quote-unquote magic. This video was merely an exercise in thought, however, and I hope you guys liked it. If you have anything to say, please feel free to comment in the comment section below. Give me your ideas on anything I talked about in the video. Peace out, dudes. Make sure you like and subscribe for more ideas of Ice and Fire.